coming vision.
There was this expectation during the early part of the pandemic that your average person just kind of puts themselves out in every way to be noble and supposedly care for one another, when elite people in power really truly don't, unless they have some kind of like self-interest or like political campaigning at heart behind it. And I definitely feel like at this point during the pandemic, like we're all a lot more cynical about that kind of thing and about the concept of doing our part.
Right.
So with all of that said, yeah, please tell us what motivated you to write this particular song.
This song is, it builds and builds and builds and builds, and it's just this repeated questioning of, are you doing everything you can? And it felt like during the pandemic, we all kind of held each other up to this under a magnifying glass. And we're like, I know we're all stuck inside, but are you doing your part to, purchase your food delivery from Black-owned restaurants? Are you supporting your local businesses? Are you divesting as much as you can from the parts of capitalism that make your life bearable and easy? Are you holding yourself to the highest, most woke standards possible? Are you holding all of your friends accountable to the highest, most woke standards possible? Are you getting rid of people in your life who are in any way problematic? And all of that seemed to really be driving toward a feeling of isolation, and it was psychologically isolating in a way that felt very antithetical to the positive sentiment behind a lot of it. Everything was sort of directed as, okay, society in a large way is falling apart right now. Let's try to focus on building actual community. Let's abolish the police. Let's, try to rethink how we do energy exchanges with one another. And that is all very good in concept, and trying to figure out how to implement it when we can't go outside felt like a very, very frustrating thing. So that sort of question of, are you doing everything you can, over and 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 over, that was, to me, what the lockdown felt like. There was this reflection and examination of all the problems with society, and then having solutions, but having no way to implement those solutions. And then as soon as the government said, we're tired of trying to tell you guys what to do, we're going to go back to normal.
And do nothing.
And just,
protect
we're just going to let you die. So have fun with that. Then everyone was like, pronto, let's go back to normal, which was terrible. But also they just completely ignored all the stuff that they had been talking about as far as building better communities and trying to address the logistical holes in the way that our society functions. The ending of the song is very much taking all of these ideas and suggestions that were being put forth during the pandemic, and internalizing that and wanting to do something about it, wanting to make a change, and kind of vowing to do whatever it takes to make some kind of change. My ability to do that is pretty limited. You know, even if the most I ever do is make art and make music, I think that's still an act of rebellion.
Very much agree. And how would you relate this song to the rest of Guillotine, kind of wrapping up this particular EP, and in relationship to everything else?
So Guillotine 3 is like the pandemic chapter, and this kind of closes it out, and it's kind of the definitive point where Guillotine as a whole kind of stops being about things that are real completely. Guillotine Part 4 is a total fantasy, and it's kind of an alternate timeline when something could have happened, where people could have coalesced and followed through on all the changes they said that they were wanting to make during the pandemic, and
they did, but it was just right-wing people,
right?
Who wanted like chaos. And fascism.
Yeah. I have to say I'm real disappointed with all of the leftists who didn't have their own January 6th, but that's a video essay for another time. So anyways, whatever it takes is kind of setting up the I will do whatever it takes, and make change happen, and you'll see the exciting conclusion in Part 4 coming this spring.